Welcome, all you toxic man babies, to the Drunk3PO channel.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel here. Yes, everybody told me this would never be possible. Everybody told me that Jeremy doesn't come down to the small channels. Everyone told me when they were like, I dare you to try to get TheQuartering, Jeremy from TheQuartering on. It'll never happen. It'll never happen, Jay. But guess what? Guess who's here next to me? And listen, his time is precious. So I'm going to just do this, until he has to leave. But I want to thank you, Jeremy, from coming down to us, little small people.
Well, look, I mean, a $10,000 cash payment will get my attention.
That's right. I'm going to edit that part out because no one's supposed to know about that. But, that's did you have like a really, really high moment? Like, in YouTube, not in life per se. I mean, we all could say that in different things, but was there like a moment in YouTube where you're like, that felt good? That is somebody that you met or something that happened, or
probably being on a Crowder show was a big deal for me.
That was recent though. That was recent, huh?
Yeah, and then probably like, to be honest with you, there are a couple of months that were fucking insane for revenue. Like, I paid off an entire car in 1 month. Like, that felt pretty good.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, I mean, the financial freedom that it's given me, there have been several moments, like my wife and I are going to pay off our house this year. And like, that feels good. There's that kind of stuff, that, always feels good. Yeah, video going viral is cool, but it hasn't happened to me in like forever. So building the Breeze shed was obviously a good moment.
Yeah, that's
yeah. So
yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Did you ever have like a low, like a real low moment for YouTube where you just thought it's it, done?
Well,
and it looks like it's spreading. Now you talked about and you don't have to talk about it here, but you did talk about the anxiety of going live with so many people watching, and like especially on the Crowder show, you had talked. Do you think like you'll ever overcome that, or is that just something that you just deal with going live? Like you won't have to worry about it on this show, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, if if people watch my channel, they'll notice that I really haven't been. I don't really live stream anymore, and it's partly it's a two-part reason. One is there's so many people and I get anxious not being able to read every message.
Oh, okay.
And two, sometimes like just not being able to read everything and not being able to cover everything, that bothers me. And then there's just the crowd. Like I used to be able to go live for like 25 or 100 people. It didn't feel like anything. But now when I go live and it's a couple of thousand, it's like, oh shit, I gotta be extra on. And I know there'll probably be a point where my channel relies more on live streaming for revenue, but right now things are going pretty good. And since I already put out 5 videos a day, it's like, oh God, I don't also want to live stream. Sometimes I'm just fucking done. Like if I do 8 videos in a day, there's so many times I tweeted out like, I'm going to live stream tonight. And then I go upstairs and I'm like, oh, I'm just drained, like mentally drained. Obviously the job isn't physically taxing, but mentally just being on is tough to do for 2 hours straight,
When do you shut down from YouTube every day?
I work from generally I work from like 7 in the morning until 7 at night. But it's not like straight through, sometimes I'll take a half-hour break and play some Warzone, or I'll have to run some errands. It really, the ideal shift for me is to have videos done the day ahead of time. But I'm usually done by 6 o'clock. And then I'm just kind of keeping an eye on news and stuff like that before I go to bed.
Unless there's something breaking, right? Something
Yeah.
right.
And even if it's late, if something breaks and it's like 8 o'clock, I'll just save it for the morning because, you know, unless it's fucking huge, you know, like Stan Lee dying or something like that, you know, then, okay, then I'll go downstairs and cover it, you know?
Right, exactly. For all those that are sending super chats, I appreciate it. I'm gonna get to the later. Jeremy has a limited amount of time. I want to make sure he gets the amount of time here before he has to leave. So to answer some of the questions. So, but thank you all for the super chats and being here. So for someone that watches one of your videos and goes, man, I would love to do something like that. Do you have a advice or like? We ask this from everybody, and everybody's advice is so different. It's funny. It's you have like I had Young Rip on, and he was like, if you're gonna start a YouTube channel, you better spend some money and get the most expensive equipment to look good. Then you have Jeremy from Geeks and Games say, I have a $75 webcam and a cheap mic. Just record off your phone. So it's just interesting to hear different people because honestly, Jeremy, you are, for many YouTubers, you are what many of them want to become. Whether you know, it's just how it is as far as success. I mean, who doesn't want to pay off have a month where they could pay off a car making videos on YouTube? So that is for me, that's considered success. So if you had any kind of advice to give them or just none at all.
Well, I mean, to be clear, there is an absolute amount of luck that you just got to get lucky. There were entire YouTube careers made during the Fallout 76 debacle. There were YouTube careers made like Geeks and Gamers because of Captain Marvel. There were, I mean, or Star Wars, The Last Jedi is another example. You know, a lot of the people in the similar space, you just got to get on a topic and just pound it. You know, the Ryan kid, he basically, the kid that has his thumbnails look just like mine. He made a million videos. He made a bunch of videos around The Last of Us 2, and he was a small channel until then. So you find something that, you know, your message is resonating with, and then you just got to pound it. I mean, there were a lot of people who were bitching about too many freaking Captain Marvel movies. Yeah, okay. Well, when they stop not getting 150,000 views, I'll stop making them. You know, like, so I think you've got to stay keyed in on what's important to people.
That's the thing. Money, people, if they're not in it, they don't understand it. You know, they're just kind of like, why do you have like I tell everyone a million times over, my channel of all things was built on Star Wars Galaxy's Edge before it opened. I had 500 subs. I started talking about Galaxy's Edge before it opened. It just exploded. And even now, if I go back to a Galaxy's Edge video on my channel, it does very well. So for whatever it's worth. And
but that's exactly right. I mean, that's, you know, my channel years later, Brie Larson videos still do good. Like, I get it's a meme. Ha ha ha. He has 1 million views on Brie Larson. Yeah, okay. You know, I'll make $1 million next year. So suck my balls. Like, I don't, you know, it doesn't fucking matter to me. If my viewers enjoy it, that content, then like, it's fine. So I think you've got to have a decent microphone and decent lighting. I don't think you can be so laissez-faire about it and be like, well, I have a shitty mic and whatever. No, like you can get, although because of the lockdowns, a good webcam is actually still kind of hard to find right now. But like you get a nice little Logitech like camera, some lighting. These are things that are table stakes. Now this is what worked for me, I think. I mean, you could look at a guy like Corpse Husband, who was a relative unknown, and how he blew up playing Among Us and sounding funny. Like or different, not funny, but like no shade to him. But like the dude added like 2 million subs in a month for playing Among Us. So you find something you're passionate about, you get involved in the community, you start hanging out on live streams. A lot of the like Comicsgate channels, that's how they started. That's how Cecil started. You know, I'm not saying Cecil's like getting rich off his YouTube channel, but he was able to parlay it into a comic and all this kind of stuff. At that. You know, so, and he was an unknown and his YouTube videos suck. So, I mean, like, I love Cecil, but it's not like he's, you know, putting out ultra high quality. People like Cecil, not his videos. So you want to participate in live streams so people get to know you. You want to participate in Discords so people know you. And then, you also want to look at how can I be involved in the community in other ways? Maybe that means um, uh, modding for a channel. Maybe that means offering assistance. Maybe you're really good at drawing shit. Doing fan art for somebody and then telling them you have a YouTube channel is a great way to, there's a lot to the hustle that is kind of never goes away, but you got to be lucky. You got to be talking about something that you're actually passionate about, or that you can at least fake it. Because if you're just talking about something that is like you don't give a fuck about, nobody's do something different. Look at Memology. Him and I cover basically the same shit. He does it in 2-minute bite-sized sections, and it works great for him. And he doesn't show his face. He has no webcam, and it's like text on screen. He saw that people liked my videos, but often complain about them being too long. So he filled that need. And and we're friendly. I mean, he would say the same thing. So I don't mean that in a negative way at all.
Oh yeah, no. Speaking of people know who you are, you ever go out and people will be like, "Hey, it's TheQuartering. Hey, it's Jeremy."
Yeah,
hey.
That happens. Yeah.
I know you had a bad one. I know you had a bad incident one time with a fan.
Yeah.
But
they weren't a fan, but yeah.
Well, I always call anyone that knows me like a fan, whether they like me or not. And like,
that's probably true.
The worst thing, because people watch because they hate you, when they watch because they love you. The worst thing that ever happened to me is I had a Drunk3PO shirt on, and I was at a convention, and people were like, "I love that Drunk3PO shirt," but they didn't recognize it was me the whole time. But have you had any like great interaction with fans, or everyone's been pretty chill?
Every single one.
How do you enjoy that when you're out? I mean, look, you could be out with your family, and someone is it annoying? Is it like, no, this is the life that I have right now, and I have to deal with it? Or
if you interrupt me at dinner, that's annoying. That's happened several times.
Really? They just run up, want a photo?
Yeah, usually they have like my YouTube channel up, and they're like, "Are you this guy?" Like, if again, it doesn't really like. Okay, if you come up and you just like dap it up, and you're like, "Dude, hey, I don't want to interrupt. I really love." Most people are like this. They'll say they give you the look. I know the look every time. My wife knows the look when they recognize you, because they'll stare at you and like they'll be looking at their phone. Yeah,
try to figure you out.
Yeah, and I've had most people are just like, if I'm at dinner, they'll just like come and like, "Hey, what's up, dude? Respect," Or I've had people like from across the mall be like, "Get woke, go broke," like that kind of shit. That's fun. I like that. So really, or like I live in a small town, so I don't like run into new people often, but sometimes people will recognize me if I'm at like the pub or something like that. And that's always good too. Like it's always they'll, want to buy me a drink, which I always accept. Keeping your feet on the ground in real life is important. Spending too much time on the internet is bad. It's just bad. That's why I play in a bowling league. Because you know what? When I go to bowling, you know how much SJW bullshit we talk about at bowling? Zero.
Yeah.
We talk about bowling and like the lanes and you know what I mean? Like you just got to have hobbies outside, and don't identify with like your online personality or this stuff. You just got to have stuff outside of the internet, and then none of it'll matter, because at the end of the day, you can always put down your phone, or you can always block people. I used to pride myself on never blocking anybody, and then I was like, oh wait, you know what, I just can't stop looking at this negativity, so I'm just going to start blocking people. Like it's just when there are people that are constantly posting screenshots of a deleted tweet, like, hey, I deleted the tweet, that's kind of like admitting a mistake. And then when you constantly repost it, I'm like, you're just a piece of shit, so I just block you. You're like, it just doesn't nothing online is more important than what's offline, and just keep that in mind. And I think
That is
negativity
the
gets a lot easier.
best advice.